Welcome, listeners, to Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour, hosted by Rene Bravo and Bryan Quevedo. If you are a new listener of the show, please follow us on our socials on Instagram at Keepin' With The Nerds and Twitter at Keepin' With Nerd. Our podcasts are recorded in Whittier, California, and are posted on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts every Wednesday at 11:30. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
You're just so demanding.
Start whenever you ask me these questions, and I tell you.
Well, I don't want you to say anything, controversial,
What could I say that's controversial?
I don't know.
Tell me exactly what I could be saying that could possibly land me in some trouble.
You just said something about Brie Larson.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
What was it that she said? What was the article?
Okay, so I saw a headline of the article of Brie Larson saying that she is the strongest Avenger.
Yeah, that's a straight up lie.
and in the scene in Endgame, Thanos cheated by using the Power Stone.
Yeah, that's a straight up lie. Why would she say that?
I don't know.
Well, who wrote this article?
She's still trying to be.
Who wrote this?
I don't know. I just saw it. It was on comicbook.com.
I mean, that could be like a headline just for clicks. I think, she probably said it like in a small little interview or something like that.
She could have said it, yeah.
Yeah, does it mean anything? No.
Yeah.
Because,
I don't know if she's coming back to do another Captain Marvel, because that's something that they haven't.
They said that they're doing Captain Marvel too, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's not on their for sure list of things coming out soon.
Oh, you're right. Now I think about it.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're 100% sure that it's.
I think so, because they're doing Guardians of the Galaxy first. Thor.
Yeah, you're right. That's not
Miss
on
Marvel.
a list.
They're doing Miss Marvel before Captain
That's
Marvel
a Disney
too.
Plus series.
Yeah, but there's no theaters. Of course, the next Marvel stuff is coming out. So
I could pretty much with some certainty say that probably Brie Larson demanded a little too much.
I love how we're opening this up with Brie Larson. a little Keeping Up with the Nerds, little rant on Brie Larson. One thing I did find out about her, she's actually a really good singer. So
is she really?
Yes, she actually put out an album before she started doing acting.
Wait, didn't she sing the part for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World? That was her voice, right?
Black Sheep. Yeah, that was actually her singing, which I was shocked at.
Look,
because I like that version, honestly, of that song.
It's difficult because I think I've mentioned this before when we're talking about Captain Marvel, is that Brie Larson? I just wish Brie Larson wasn't so outspoken about certain things.
The thing is, and see when you say it like that,
it's okay. Let me rephrase that, because it's like
because you're saying that she shouldn't say what's on her mind.
No. She could say any of that stuff, but when it comes to putting other people down,
that's okay.
That's where I have a problem with.
That's my major problem with her as well too.
Yeah.
The one thing that I didn't like that she chose to do upon when it came to doing the Captain Marvel press was that she requested, I'm not too sure if this happened, she requested that she would do a press thing for the movie, but only female reporters would be in the room.
Then why? I get it. I get the point, but it's also more along the lines of what are you trying to show off with that?
The thing is, I get this is Marvel's first female lead role, but at the same time, I'm like, this isn't the first comic book film lead role of a female character.
She takes advantage a lot, I feel, of when she's in the spotlight. Mm-hmm. She takes advantage of that. Again, there's nothing wrong with being outspoken about your own thoughts and stuff. That's one of the benefits of living in the US. You get to say whatever you want.
I think most of the female casts of the past Marvel movies have said that she is difficult to talk to.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think, and don't quote me on this, people, but I think Elizabeth Olsen has said that she doesn't agree with her way of doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then same thing, I think, with Scarlett Johansson. But Scarlett Johansson is very, obviously she's very, for women and stuff like that. But at the same time, she doesn't do it like how Brie Larson does.
No, she doesn't put other people down publicly, not as often.
Yeah.
It could also be.
I mean, I've seen interviews of these weird reporters or people, when they do interviews with Scarlett Johansson about Avengers movies, they only talk to her about like her body. They don't talk to her about her character. They talk about how does it feel getting into the suit, or stuff like that.
Which is stupid. It should be the
like,
other.
What
like,
do you
ask
wear?
about the movie.
Yeah, like what do you wear when you're in the suit? She's like, what the heck is
Media
going
doesn't help
on?
either. Yeah, media doesn't help either. It's
That's
just
the thing.
it's and we've talked about how we have a problem with media.
Yeah.
When I get it, you want to try to get clicks on your site, you want to try to get some good, articles and titles out there to get people to get to the traffic.
You have to be respectful to these actors because they're
actors and actresses.
Yeah, you have to be respectful towards them because they're the ones that are, you're interviewing them, and again, they are people at the end of the day. And you have to give them their respect.
No, yeah,
they
obviously.
deserve your respect,
obviously.
And to ask them questions about superficial things is just really ridiculous.
No, it doesn't help your case out at all. I mean, for me, it's like if I were to point out like the actors and actresses that I have issues with like that, Jared Leto's another example of it.
Yeah,
I legitimately do not like the way he interviews at times or how he takes on roles and stuff. It's kind of bothersome.
It really is.
If you want to be, egotistic about what you do and stuff, and you want to walk the walk and kind of like that, Tom Cruise probably is one of those people that like it's kind of like, I can see him going like that.
It's a 50-50.
It's a very 50-50. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Name me another actor that kind of devotes himself to his stunt work the way he does. There's actors that do devote themselves to stunt work, but he's one of those crazy ones that's like, strap me to an airplane, let's fly.
As of recently, no, I can't think of anyone. I mean, I can think of Jackie Chan, but that was back in the day. He's getting older now. He doesn't do those stunts anymore.
There may be some smaller actors that maybe we haven't thought of, but like big name, the ones that are going to capture media attention, Tom Cruise is one of the ones that like
the first thing that pops in your head.
Yeah. And I feel like if he wants to act that way, he shouldn't.
I saw Tom Cruise. I remember him doing not a bit, but a video with James Corden, and it was about him and how they're about to go skydiving.
Okay.
And I was watching the video, and when you go skydiving, you just if you and I wanted to go skydiving, obviously we have to be strapped to a person that knows how to skydive. Yeah. Of course, Tom Cruise, when he's going to go skydiving, he has a license to go skydiving.
That guy has a license for anything.
He's he doesn't want to be strapped to someone. He wants to do it himself.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course he would have that. Of course. Of course he doesn't want to be strapped to a person. He wants to do it himself, And he's not wearing goggles. He's not wearing like a helmet. He's wearing a full face helmet with a plastic cover, like on Mission Impossible, like if it's a motorcycle helmet, like freaking Tom Cruise, man.
Why not? Yeah. Why not? Before we move on to the intro, I want to make a little announcement real quick. My fiance and I finally finished Westworld season 1.
No, this is what we've been talking about. Okay, so before we dive into that,
you want to dive into it?
A little bit, but let's do it after the intro. We'll do this. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about this because what was her reaction at the end of the series? Because you said that you wanted her to say that it was a great show in order for you to accept.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So what was her reaction after the show was over?
Do you want me to tell you now?
After the last episode. What did she feel? Tell me that after I do this intro.
Oh, we're going straight into the intro.
Straight into the intro.
All right. Here we go. Renee, let's do this.
All right. Hello, citizens. Welcome to Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour. Come to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California. Aiming to be Whittier's #1 podcast for all things nerdy. I'm your host, Rene.
And this is Bryan.
And welcome to the show, everyone.
Issue 37.
37. Wow.
Yeah. You know what? We're almost reaching our 1-year anniversary.
Oh, no.
I am proud of us. I am proud of us because most people will say that if you work on a project like this where you don't make any money, like, right off the bat,
keep just committed to it.
You stop after like a couple months, and we've been on this and, working harder than ever to keep making the content. So I'm proud of us, Renee.
Definitely.
Pat on the back.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Open up our Monster cans. Yes. Going to Monster now. We got a pretty packed episode this week. We're going to try to keep it within the hour-ish mark.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about a trend that's been apparent for the last couple of months.
Yes.
It's the trend of reboots.
Reboots.
Everywhere we turn, it's reboot after reboot after
those
reboot.
Warner Brother movies as well too, if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't just say, "Oh, it's only Warner Brothers," because then you're gonna get a DC mob coming at you and be like, "Hey, we think Marvel's doing the same thing. Look at how many times they reboot the Spider-Man cartoon." We get it, guys. We get it. We're not just bagging on one franchise here. Relax. Yeah, Rene, you're just like, okay.
I'm just like mentally preparing for that.
But we're going to be talking about what we're seeing here in terms of reboots because you got some pretty good announcements
like recent news, yeah.
Yeah. But you do want to hear about what my thoughts or what my fiance thought about
because we talked about it in the Valentine's episode where you guys started watching it. Oh, so yeah, initial thoughts and then the big reveal that we were talking about.
So I was scared
of the Black Rider. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was scared because,
mind you guys, spoilers. If you haven't watched Westworld, skip maybe like 5 minutes of this podcast.
Yeah.
So skip to 5 minutes now.
5 minutes ish. I was scared because Westworld for me, like I think I've said it in that podcast, it changed my life. Like for me, that is the show. Besides a lot of these old school 80s sci-fi movies that, made me want to produce something. It's my motivation to, continue on and hopefully work in, film and media, in the future. But the way Westworld was, the first season, at least the first season, because I have not started season 2 or 3, it impacted me that way. And so I wanted to have that, same, I was hoping that the same feeling would be exhibited with my fiance.
Yeah.
The first 6-ish episodes, I couldn't tell because I think she was more interested in trying to be correct on her predictions. And so most of it was like, and I would check up on her and be like, did you like it? Are you liking it so far? You think it's good? What are your thoughts on it? And she's like, So I would I would post on like Facebook going like, oh my God, if she says this is okay, I don't know how I'm going to take it. Cause like, I don't know. When I get passionate about something,
no, I feel you, buddy.
Really want the person to like it,
Oh, yeah. No, I'm guilty of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mandy will testify to that.
It's like if I hold something up here, like out of 10, this is the top thing, and another person's like, it's all right.
I do the exact same thing when me and Mandy are watching like DC animated movies that I love. Mm-hmm. One in particular was one of my favorite DC animated movies is Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, where it has to do with the Justice League and the Crime Syndicate, which is the alternate version of the Justice League, but just an evil version. And one of the things I loved about that movie was Owlman. Because I loved Owlman, and I loved the final fight between Batman and Owlman. I was like, that's so dope. And I watched it. She watched it, and I just go, and I turned to her, I go, so what'd you think? And she's like, it was pretty good. I'm like,
God dang it. No, it cannot be.
But it's not my fault. It's not her fault. She doesn't have the same love for Batman that I do, you know, but she understands that. So she understands like how much I care for Batman, how much I love Batman, and I'll do anything for Batman. I simp.
That was a long explanation right there, buddy.
But it makes sense now, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah. Says this while wearing a Spider-Man shirt.
Why do you do that? Every single time. Maybe it's me because like I miss. Like every time, guys, like I talk about Batman and I happen to be not representing Batman, Bryan has to point it out.
Well, because if you come at me, it's like, you talk. Oh, I don't have my keys. Never mind. Bad example. Moving on. I was gonna say I'm like Fallout because Fallout's my favorite thing. I have a Nuka-Cola bottle cap on my keychain.
That's true.
Yeah. But okay, to the point of like how passionate I get about Westworld.
We sidetracked a lot.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I haven't had it like a confrontation with anyone that hasn't liked it or has approached me and been like, yeah, you're kind of stupid for liking Westworld season 1. But I do have a friend, a friend named Oscar. Shout out to him if he listens to the podcast. I remember this because I legitimately like really got mad at him. I don't think I did anything about it, but I got mad because he's like, yeah, I don't think the first season was all that good. It was all right. It wasn't, that great. The theme song slaps, but like, no, just the rest of the season was just, I got mad. It hurt because that's like my show. The writing is just phenomenal and the way it was produced and it just looks beautiful. It's so great. So beautiful. I love it. I just love it. I just can't have enough. And watching it a third time through, it's just, oh my God. We got to episode 7, I believe. It's the one where they finally reveal that, what's his name? Jeffrey Wright's character, Bernard. is revealed to be a host.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Okay, you want to know what Andy's reaction to that was?
I don't know.
She was like, "Yeah, I kind of saw it coming," and I'm like, "You." I literally had to be like, okay, explain it to me.
She's gonna listen and go like, come on. She's listening right now.
I think it's because she was trying really hard to figure out who Arnold was, and that kind of led her to believe that, okay, well, I think Arnold is Bernard.
But the thing is that like the way they showed Arnold in the series, that like he's like a main character, and like, oh yeah, like we're getting like a really human aspect of him because he helps out in the park and stuff. He understands, he feels for the hosts, but we know why now.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was my fault that that reveal wasn't as impactful as it was for me, because I think I hyped it up a little too much. And so she tried to work backwards from that to try to see what I mean. But thankfully, she didn't figure out who the Man in Black was. She didn't. And so when we got to that point,
Which episode was that?
That's the last part. That's the last episode.
Of season 1?
Of season 1. Because it's right before, so you know how Dolores is going back and forth.
Oh, that's memories? Right. Yeah. Okay.
So
and then it confirms like you're following 2 different timelines.
Exactly.
Which is another like.
Yeah. So she figured it out. I think like right before, probably about 2 or 3 minutes before they revealed that the Man in Black was William, because he picks up his hat, the black hat, and that's how you can tell. It was him all along. I'm like, yeah, it was.
It was great.
It was so great. But it kind of like. I think she was relieved, because one of the things she did not like was the fact that we were following Williams and Logan's storyline and it didn't connect at all.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so scared that she was going to figure it out, because if you remember, the Man in Black cuts Lawrence's neck to drain him of blood. And literally within the next couple minutes, Lawrence pops up again as a gang lord.
Yeah.
Or like the leader of like a gang or something like that, right? And so she said, oh, did they just reuse him somewhere else? And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what they did, which wasn't the case.
No.
It was because that's, what he was before he got reassigned.
Yeah.
The other hint and there were very small details that thankfully she didn't pick up. The photo at the beginning that Dolores picks up.
Yeah. You
see the photo, William holds it, I think in episode 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's the significance of that photo? I'm like, I don't know. No, I don't know. I ain't going to say anything.
Nope.
What was the other thing? The gun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the gun that she finds as well. And then I think the part that I swear I thought this was a straight giveaway is when Teddy and the Man in Black get blindsided by the blonde girl they save. And then the Man in Black's like, oh, yeah, so they do reassign you guys, huh? It's the same actress the same host that helped out William the first time around when he went into Westworld for the first time.
Okay.
So there were a lot of little hints that kind of showcased that this was a different timeline.
Okay.
Yeah, but she freaking loved it. And then the ending as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With what's her name? Was it Dolores?
When she shoots
Anthony
Ford.
Hopkins. Yeah, Ford. Oh, that was so great.
It's fantastic because now
so
it's
good.
it's interesting because I don't think she sees sci-fi the way I do.
Yeah.
So her consumption of it is a lot different than mine.
Yeah.
I really liked these kind of tales of trying to figure out what AIs would be like in the future when you develop consciousness in them. Can you even develop consciousness?
That's what I like. I also, after and I think that's why I got into, after watching Westworld, I got into playing Detroit Becoming Human.
Yeah, because it deals with the same things,
right? Exact same thing, and such a good story as well too. One of the things, that's why I loved the first season of Westworld, was that when they revealed that William was the Black Rider, and it's just that because William was such a innocent character, you thought he was oh cool, his characteristics are so pure.
Yeah.
And to see that he becomes a Black Rider and just he got corrupted.
He still sees himself as a hero in the story.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But you could tell, his intentions though are just so dark.
Yeah.
And the way he does things after his experience with Dolores and in Westworld obviously changed him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And you get to see that more in season 2, which is great.
I can't wait to start watching season 2.
Season
now I have
two
a
is
reason
good.
for it.
Yeah. I forgot. Now I'm thinking about it right now. I forgot the whole satisfying story that you get out of season 2 after watching season 1.
Okay.
It's not as great, but it's a great continuation.
And that's what I told Andy,
Yeah.
because I said, like, you can end season 1 and not produce a second season because it ends pretty well. Like, it ends in a way that's
I honestly thought that was going to be it.
Yeah, it ends in a way that's, like, satisfactory, where you're just kind of like, okay, we can leave it there and just never touch it again, because the hosts now have, an incentive to, do what they're doing, because now they have the consciousness. They're developing it, and these decisions now have consequences. So it's pretty good to just kind of leave it there. I'll leave it at this. When we watched it, she had work the next day. We finished watching it at like 11. Yeah. And I swear to you, you can make a meme out of this, because when she's in bed, she has a thinking face going on. And her thinking face is like she stares out in the distance. So she's just like covering herself with a blanket like this. And she has it like right next to her, like her neck.
Yeah.
And she's
her
like,
right up to here.
Yeah. And she's like asking me these questions like, so what did this mean? So how's this going to go on? So what was the whole point of the maze? And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so perfect. Oh, so it hit her hard. The last episode hit her hard. Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
That was it.
Yeah.
That's it, guys.
So we finally watched Westworld, or she finally watched Westworld, thankfully, and she liked it. So we'll see how season 2 and 3 are. she liked it.
That's the sound of you slowly accepting that she said she liked it.
She more than liked it, but I'm just gonna say she liked it.
Okay.
At least that she didn't come at me and said it's okay. That's where we would have problems. Be like, listen, we need to talk.
We might have to postpone the wedding.
We might have to rethink this. No, I love her.
No,
I love her.
Kidding.
I love her, but like, yeah, because she freaking loved the show.
That's good.
So it's good. Yeah. With that said, let's jump onto the whole reboots. The whole reboots topic, because that's our main thing for today.
So do you want to talk about the recent one with a certain DC character?
Yes. Well, why are we talking about reboots, first of all?
So there has been a lot of talks. If we look over this past year, we're getting a Mortal Kombat movie. We're getting Kong versus Godzilla. We're getting
Pokemon.
All these new Pokemon games and stuff.
All reboots, by the way.
All reboots, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Pearl and Diamond?
So they're remaking Snap.
Yes.
It's not a remake or a reboot, but it's more of like a continuation. But they're bringing back that aspect of Pokemon Snap
with just more updated Pokemon.
Basically.
Pokemans.
Pokemans.
What's the plural?
Pokemons. I should know. I don't know. So sure. But they're doing another Pokemon Snap. They're remastering essentially Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, which was the Sinnoh region, and then they're doing another Pokemon open world, but they're using the same Pokemon from the Sinnoh region. So it's like technically not necessarily. It's like supposedly an original idea because it's open world, but it's also like we haven't seen much of it yet.
Yeah.
So we got that. What else have they been released? Said Mortal Kombat. You said Godzilla versus King Kong, which Godzilla is basically getting this whole big redo because of its 2016 or 14 movie that came out, the first one, the Godzilla.
Yeah.
What else am I missing here? Oh, the video games even have been remastering a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, like Resident Evil and stuff like that.
Resident Evil's a big one. But DC is rebooting the Superman movies.
Which I don't know how I feel, because I love Henry Cavill as Superman, but I guess moving forward, because they're doing a Batman movie, a new Batman
reboot
movie,
of a Batman movie?
Another reboot. Yeah, that's gonna
Matt
come out
Reeves?
in 2 years. Yeah, that's gonna come out in 2022 now. That I guess it, to Warner Brothers mindset, it makes sense to reboot a Superman movie. But this time, J.J. Abrams will be producing it'll be with his, Bad Robot Company?
His Bad Robot production company.
Yeah, his Bad Robot production company.
I've completely forgot that was started up by J.J. Abrams. Bad Robot is a great production company.
No, they put out some great films.
They put out some good bangers. A lot of the Star Trek movies, because Abrams directed it.
Yeah, he directed it. And then Super 8. Super 8
that
was good.
too. Super 8 is such a cult movie, though. It's like, I feel like it's really good. It was produced by Steven Spielberg. Yeah. With the assistance of Bad Robot.
You get very early, like, Stranger Things vibes from that.
Yeah.
It was really good. I think that's what inspired Stranger Things. Like, I feel like the Duffer Brothers were just like...
You hear that knocking right there?
Yeah.
That's the Stranger Things fan base you just pissed off right there. Stranger Things is an original idea. How dare you?
No, it's not. Whoa! Hold on. Now, let's pause the podcast right here. If you tell me that Stranger Things is an original story with original situations, you got to rethink your life.
You had to think about what you were going to say?
Yeah, because I was going to cuss and I didn't want to cuss. And no, because they take aspects. The Duffer Brothers even admit they took aspects of like Alien. They took aspects of like The Thing and stuff. Like every 80s pop culture was inspired in Stranger Things.
Did I tell you why? Okay, I'm going to say it right now.
Okay, go ahead.
For those, because I know we have a lot of new listeners of the podcast. I'm not a fan of Stranger Things.
Wait, I did not know this actually.
I've seen the first season.
Okay.
I've seen the first season.
Okay.
I think it's visually cool. Like, I don't see any problem with it. Mm-hmm. But it just feels like easy 80s,
nostalgia.
Yeah, that's all
No,
it is.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
But I love it. That's the thing. Okay, so Stranger Things season 1, I think you have to keep watching them because they get better. Season 3 is my favorite season because it just...
That's the Office vibe.
That's
it gets better after season 1.
It's true. No one rewatches Office season 1.
I do.
Why?
Because why
that's
not?
like Michael was like the most awkwardness at that point.
Even Kevin had a growth in that one.
True,
because he was just kind of like,
Hi.
so today I was in the office. And,
Yeah.
Oscar was, doing his work, I guess. Yeah. And then in season 2, he's just like, yeah, so today I was in the
Michael,
office.
Today I'm bringing in my special chili.
That's exactly
The secret is to undercook the onions. It's probably the best thing that I do.
That's exactly it.
Who's the one saying that there's a tiny person moving my head around like a Muppet? I broke Bryan.
I forgot that's a line.
Yeah. Dude, I've watched The Office so many times.
Oh, God. So
And that's Dallas.
So it gets better after season 1, Stranger Things.
Yeah, so because season 1 goes a very Lovecraftian, eerie kind of thing.
Yeah.
Season 2 kind of goes that they try to take that same vibe and expand on that.
Okay.
Which was it didn't work out.
Okay.
That's the thing. Season 3 was like, you know what? We know what we are. We're just gonna go with it, and we're just gonna have fun.
Is there a season 4?
There's gonna be a season 4
Oh,
because the way that
be.
season 3 ended, it ended kind of like a cliffhanger.
Okay.
And stuff. So it's really good, especially because by that time you already love the characters. Like Hopper, the sheriff, is like an awesome fucking character. Sorry for I just love Hopper. He's so badass.
You're allowed to curse once on every episode.
One on every
Once
episode.
every like 2 episodes or something.
I noticed that we don't curse a lot.
No, we don't need to.
Yeah.
We try to keep it, PG-13 at most. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're allowed 1, just like in Disney.
But going back to reboots now, but that's weird. Yeah, I didn't know that you didn't like or didn't care for Stranger Things.
I don't care. Look, if you're gonna try to force feed me something, it's one of the reasons why. Tying it in with Superman, I'm not a fan of Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. Okay, I get it. Man of Steel visually.
I need to rewatch Man of Steel. It's been a long time since
I don't want to. I've seen it like 3 times.
I think we need to rewatch it.
Look. I've seen it 3 times. Okay,
Yeah.
Once when it was in theaters.
Yeah.
Once, one other time because I was bored, and then a third time because I was told, hey, just rewatch it again to see if you actually like it. Here's this thing: it visually looks good, but story wise, it's not all that good.
That's true.
Also Christopher Nolan friggin' produced it, and we all know what I think about Nolan.
Yes.
Not Jonathan Nolan. Jonathan Nolan is a saint.
Because he did Westworld.
He's also going to be producing with Lisa Joy the new Fallout series. It's coming out on Amazon
oh my
Prime.
God, is that still a thing? I forgot.
How dare you? Don't ever say, is that still a thing? Yes, it's still a thing.
I don't know, man.
I will die before I let it die.
Okay.
That thing is not going anywhere. No.
You sure?
Yes.
Next week.
Oh my God! Please don't. Please don't knock on anything that's wood. Because I just no. But Man of Steel, like, it's one of the reasons why. Because there was so much hype around it, and Stranger Things was like that.
Yeah.
How many people friggin' hyped up Stranger Things?
That's true.
And how many people hyped up Man of Steel?
Stranger Things just like took off. I remember when Stranger Things came out, it was like boom, everyone was loving it. And like for the longest time I was seeing Eleven coming out of the store. Like that was a gift I saw a lot, or like her eating Eggos, and I was like, "Oh, what's
waffles were like a big thing."
Yeah,
and I'm
waffles.
Like, did y'all all of a sudden figure out what waffles? Yeah, y'all figured out waffles at like 13.
D&D became super more popular now. Like everyone's like, "I want to play D&D now." Like don't get me wrong, like I play D&D, it's fun, but I don't see loving it as much as the
Are we
normal D&D.
gatekeeping D&D? We're not gatekeeping D&D.
We're not gatekeeping D&D.
No.
Because that would mean that I would love D&D, and I'm trying to keep that. I don't love D&D. I don't have the patience for it. That's the
I
thing.
do, but it's more like if like, okay, the people that hyped up like this 80s nostalgia thing from like Stranger Things are the same people that like make it a trend.
Yeah.
And then go like, yeah, it's so great. Like you said, D&D is so great. And then they just never touch it again after like 2 months of trying to get into it.
People don't understand that D&D, there's a lot. It's very overwhelming to do when you have to build just a character alone.
I could do it if I had the time.
Yes.
I would love to be a DM.
I think
Dungeon
you would
Master.
Who's a DM? Nerds.
If they don't know what that is, this show is the wrong show for them. Thanks for the listening.
I just lost that person right now. I don't like that. They pointed me out right there. But yeah, so that's the thing. Is just I think you would be a good DM, but again,
I tried.
But
it just doesn't work. Yeah, I tried.
Again, I tried building my own character, and I ended up having my friend just build it for me because I don't have the patience of going through like the stats and coming up with like, okay, is he gonna be a halfling? Okay, what kind of halfling? I was like, human and no raider and I don't know, like
something
troll or something. Okay.
How
much charisma? I don't know.
A bunch of charisma.
Bunch of charisma, like me.
Charisma and luck. That's all you need. How to talk to people, get anything you want, and if you like step on a rock, it somehow flies off a cliff and hits like a high level dragon that's hiding like this massive treasure, and no one can open it except me because somehow when I approached it, the lock just breaks. Yeah. And there it is.
And I have one bow and arrow left, and if I shoot it at the dragon's head, it'll die, and then also give me unlock another quest that I have to do, but I have to use that treasure moving forward.
And as I go check to see if the arrow is somewhere in his skull, I find out that there's 5 arrows, and 4 of those are actually, enchanted arrows.
Enchanted arrows
that
I
grant me
reuse. They come back to me.
Like boomerang arrows.
Boomerang arrows.
Oh there we go. We just created a little storyline for ourselves.
You're welcome, listeners. They're like, oh my god, like boomerang arrows. Oh
what?
Damn.
Why are we tangenting off this? We're talking about freaking J.J. Abrams Superman.
You know what's funny? We're hitting a half an hour now.
That's fine. We still got we got another thing to talk about afterwards,
true,
but we're fine. We're in the hour mark. But J.J. Abrams producing the next Superman movie. Yeah. Who was it written by again? You said it was the guy that does Black Panther.
Yeah. Well, he writes Black Panther and Captain America now, for comic book wise.
Okay.
He's gonna be possibly writing this version of Man of Steel, with the possibility of Man of Steel being African American. Superman being African American and Michael Jordan being attached to it.
Has there been?
This is all speculation after they announced who is producing and who will be writing.
So this assumption that it's going to be a black Superman is just because of the writer.
The writer, because he's black himself.
That is not a good assumption.
That isn't. I don't know why people are doing that.
Terrible thing to assume, because that doesn't mean that they have to do it. It would be, interesting to see it.
Yeah.
But to assume that is like, now you're just forcing this kind of direction to go.
Yeah, you
just let it come naturally.
Yeah, if it happens, if that's part of the story that they want to go, fine. But if they're just legitly gonna do okay, we're gonna do a Superman movie, and basically the reason why they're doing a Batman is because they want to do a younger Batman. If they want to do a younger Superman, okay, let them do it.
Let me put it this way. We've had different variations of Superman.
Yeah.
This has existed because one example of it, Red Sun.
Yeah.
We got a Russian Superman.
Yeah.
And also, let me put it this way. But Superman has always been white. Why do you need to change his color? Is he human? Mm-hmm. Is he human?
No.
He's Kryptonian. So, based on anything that we can do right now, the writing can go in any other direction.
Yes.
Make him black. But make it, 1, interesting, and 2, sound like it fits in this world, because Superman has had years, decades of history behind him, right? If they just do it to just do it, then it's not going to fit and probably not be going to be accepted by a wide variety of people. Not because of like, the ethnicity of it, but more because it just doesn't fit with the comic book lore.
Yeah.
But that is a bad assumption to do from the media.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they need to do that.
And that's it in a way that's really kind of like superficial to look at because the writer, the person that'll be writing the Superman movie is African American. So so automatically we're going to get an African American Superman. That's not the case. He could just write it just for a movie because he likes the character of Superman.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He's probably not even thinking that.
Let's throw a different spin on this.
Yeah.
Let's go away from that for a second, okay? Yeah. And let's do something that the media just refuses to do here and look at what could possibly be coming out of this in terms of the production and the writing. Yeah. We know that Black Panther and Captain America, what's his name, the writer?
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Okay. Just to acknowledge him.
Coates.
Just to acknowledge him.
Coates. We'll say Coates.
The comic book line right now is pretty decent. We're getting someone that has had experience reformatting the comic book line for both those series, right? Yeah. So there's no doubt that, what's his name? I can't remember.
Ta-Nehisi.
If we're pronouncing it correctly. Hopefully we are.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hopefully we're pronouncing it correctly. I have faith that this could be a very interesting storyline if we move away from the origin of Superman. We've seen the origin of Superman way too many times for it to be another origin story. Even Man of Steel was.
I can only see, Jonathan Kent die so many times, guys.
Yeah, no, we're done with this origin story.
Same thing with like Ben Parker. Same thing with the Waynes. Everyone already knows of those characters' origins.
Yeah, we don't need to see it again.
Or we don't need to see Krypton being blown up.
Yeah. We have a comic book writer with a good pedigree behind him producing a script for this.
Yeah.
Good. Here's the other thing. Bad Robot, a lot of the stuff they produce is pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Dare I say, this might actually be a better movie than Man of Steel. Oh my God, did he just say that? What the? Ooh. Oh my God, I just hurt someone's feelings.
You did.
I'm not coming back to the show next week. That's it for me.
You're done?
I think that's the last thing I uttered on this podcast.
We'll do a reboot then.
We're rebooting Keeping Up with the Nerds with a second co-host. A different line. Different person. Someone's going to be like, how dare you, Man of Steel was so great. No.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. It was a good movie.
It was dark.
Yeah.
And not dark in storyline. Dark as in like the lighting was weird.
Yeah, and then the whole like atmosphere thing was part of his powers.
Yeah.
Where did that come into play? I'm sorry. I still get bothered by that. That's my bother.
Renee's
bothered by how Snyder was like, oh, yeah, he gets his powers from the yellow sun, but then also affects him in the atmosphere that he's in. What?
Excuse me, Snyder.
Excuse me? Oh, yeah. What's good? Like in the scene when he's in Zod's ship. He's like, oh, and Lois is like, what's going on? He's not used to our atmospherics. Like, what?
Snyder, shut up.
Shut up. No.
I bet you Nolan had
if you wanted
to
do that, if you wanted to do that, Snyder, just basically make the same radiation from the sun on Krypton in the ship. You don't have to do the atmosphere thing. Okay.
There was probably some red sun somewhere in there.
Yeah, like, come on.
Snyder wanted his own twist.
I guess so.
And you know what? I blame Christopher Nolan. Blame Christopher Nolan for anything bad when he works on it.
Right. Just blame Nolan.
Just blame Nolan. It was his fault. Watch us get the opportunity to interview one of them.
Nolan and Snyder? When, like, I have to do Snyder, you have to do Nolan?
Oh, no. I'm like I said, I don't hate him. Look, if you're listening to this sometime in the future, I don't hate you. But I do have a problem with the create your own endings in Inception.
Yeah,
that don't make sense.
I have a problem where you want to just make all your characters murder someone.
Why?
Why? I get it. It's a fun little play, but you're doing it with DC characters where their whole shtick is that they do not kill. Like,
I wonder how Justice League is going to be like that then.
Yeah, they're going to be straight up murdering people.
Huh. Well, we'll find out when we actually get there. When we get there, that podcast's going to be interesting.
It's going to be an interesting podcast, guys, and you'll be here to hear it. all of our thoughts, all of our bothers,
But it just won't be Brian's
all of
bothers.
our, again, opinions.
But going back to the whole Bad Robot production.
Oh my God, we keep
No, that wasn't a bad sidetrack.
Yeah.
Bad Robot, when I think of Bad Robot, more recently, the Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
And those were great.
I love the Star Trek movies, honestly.
The new ones, right?
I love Star Trek Beyond, honestly, because
Beyond was fantastic.
Beyond was just such a fun movie because it was like it didn't have anything to do with like world changing or like alternate, main storyline. No, it was like just like basically they're on a mission on a normal Star Trek episode, and this is the crap they get into.
You want a 30-minute Star Trek episode? Psych, you're getting an hour and a half. Yes. I am so glad. Beyond is always going to have a place in my heart because it was the last movie my dad saw before he passed away.
Oh, okay.
So I am just so happy that, I wish he was still around, but, given the fact of the matter that he passed away, I'm just glad that in his lifetime he got to see the end of this trilogy here. And this is the way it ended, like with Beyond. Oh my God, Beyond is just so great. Star Trek Beyond, God dang, man, I wish I could see that movie again for the first time. It's so great, especially when the Enterprise just comes out in the opening scene from the water.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But like, think about it, like how great are those movies? And it was produced by Bad Robot. Could it be that we're probably gonna get better CGI in a Superman movie because it's produced by someone else?
No, that's another. So that's a whole other thing. Is like, okay, so who are they gonna get for Superman? Like, if they're gonna,
I can't think of a name off the top of my head.
That's the thing, and I'm like, nothing comes to mind. But I do want to see, if I had to already say what type of Superman movie that I do want to see, I want to see a one where it's like he's not necessarily fighting like how he did in Man of Steel. I want to see a one where he actually has to think how he's gonna fight, like how, like strategic, like actually think about it, because in Man of Steel he was just like boom, 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 boom. No, it's one of the things that I think Snyder failed to represent with Superman is that he's actually pretty smart. Superman is actually pretty smart. He's not quick thinking.
Okay. Fair.
But
yeah.
he could think of a scenario in his mind. With his powers that he has, he does solve the situation pretty good. And that's what I want to see. I want to see that. I want to see a smarter Superman. I just want him being not quick thinking, but look at the scenario and be like, okay, I got to do it this way then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
It's interesting because it's like when you think of Superman, you think of this like. I feel like with Superman storylines, especially like solo ones, it has to do more of like a philosophy, a way of thinking about it. Yeah. Because Superman is basically the indestructible man, the man that can fly, that has lasers, that has X-ray vision, super strong. He can move planets and stuff like that. So I want to see how they're going to approach this. Yeah. If this is in fact 100% true, are we going to get a storyline that's connected to the new Batman movie? Yeah. Or are we going to get a solo run?
Yeah,
I do have
solos.
Yeah, I do have an issue with this though, in the sense that I feel like Warner Brothers always has to reboot their franchises because they're always leading the game to make a connected universe.
Yeah,
like Marvel's doing a fantastic job with with its franchise because it's popping things left and right. As soon as one thing's done, you get another one, and as soon as this thing is done, you get this one. It's all connected in the same universe, and they think ahead. But why doesn't Warner Brothers do that?
I think because Warner Brothers doesn't want to put in the time that at least Marvel Studios has been doing, where, sorry, I'm talking away from the mic, where basically they like you said, they think things ahead of time, but then also like they're looking back at what they did before. Because that's what I like about Marvel Studios right now is that they're even referencing stuff that not a lot of fans necessarily liked in past movies or scenarios that happened in past movies or shows. But it's like, no, we're going to still reference these, but we're going to make it better. Like Captain Marvel for WandaVision. Not a lot of people will agree that it was a beloved, loved movie because it was basically a very 50-50 split. You hate it or you loved it, Captain Marvel. But at least with WandaVision, they took aspects of Captain Marvel and put it into the show. Yeah. Which is WandaVision is a beloved show that everyone will agree that we're all into it.
Yeah.
It's the talk of the week.
Yeah.
Every episode when it comes out. So, but the thing is that when you have Warner Brothers and they take their DC stuff and they hear bad stuff about it, they hear how fans reacted to certain things. They're like, okay, well, let's just completely ignore it, but at the same time, do the complete opposite that happened in the last film.
Yeah.
The whole, oh yeah, Superman destroyed basically all of Metropolis. And it's like, okay, in Batman versus Superman, we're going to do it where it's like, oh, okay, we're going to have him fight Doomsday, but then we're also going to mention that, okay, we're going to evacuate half of the city. But then we're also going to take it to another island as well, too, like away from the city.
There's too many things.
Yeah, it's
and
like
then when they look back at it,
you're worried about too many things.
Yeah.
Just do the movie. You know?
It kind of feels like Warner Brothers has no faith in moving forward with anything.
Yeah.
Granted, these movies take a lot of money. Their budgets are huge. I get that. I understand where they're coming from, and from like a investor's perspective, if you have no faith in moving forward with the project, why are you going to keep dumping money into this? But at the same time, it's like, Warner Brothers needs to find a production company who's going to produce a DCEU franchise that's going to, stand on its own.
Yeah.
And they need to make these movies a lot quicker. There's no reason why, one of the reasons why Marvel works the way it works is because there really is no break in between. We've talked about this before. There's superhero movie exhaustion.
Yeah.
The same way Star Wars had the same exhaustion when it came out with the new trilogy.
Yeah.
You had a mainline movie, then something in the middle of the year next, and then another mainline movie the next year, and then something in between, and people were getting exhausted over it. But Marvel keeps it interesting.
Marvel did it. Marvel has a good idea, basically, where it's like we'll put out every Marvel movie a year or so, but each movie is going to be a different take on a genre.
Yeah.
And with Ant-Man, they did that for like it's a heist movie and stuff. For Guardians of the Galaxy, it was upbeat and kind of like fun and stuff like that. It wasn't taken seriously.
Yeah. Who directed that one? It was
For which one?
Guardians. It was
James Gunn.
James Gunn. There you go. And that's why it was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Thor Ragnarok.
Taika Waititi.
He had fun doing the movie. It had the same vibe of Guardians of the Galaxy, but also it was fresh for Thor's character. Yeah. That's the thing.
Like each one of these movies has a signature on it by the person who either produced it or directed it. It's its own unique thing. And that's something that I feel like the DCEU is kind of missing here. It's just not special enough that there's a reason to keep going with it. I feel like if Warner Brothers does want to succeed here, they need to have that moment with a bunch of different writers and a bunch of different, directors that are there. What was the movie I was thinking about? Oh, no, this is the other thing I was thinking about. When you're looking at the plan moving forward, the Batman is going to be a completely redone thing. We're no longer going to be using Ben Affleck. We're using, what's his name?
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, right? Okay, great. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now they're going to be rebooting a Superman movie. It hasn't even started production, nothing like that. Okay, good. If Warner Brothers wants to continue with this, then stick with it and be hard about it. Don't be afraid to admit it. We're no longer going to make a connected universe. There's no point in it.
Yeah. Tell us just be blunt with us.
Yeah. Yeah, because it could work. Because look at who's writing this, and look who's producing this, and look who's directing it. If you think about, Man of Steel, what's the signature you see on there?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Like you caught me like right in the middle of it. I was yawning.
My bad.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. What was the question again? I got
Whose signature do you see on Man of Steel?
Oh, Snyder.
Yeah. What about BVS?
Snyder.
Okay, it's the same signature everywhere.
Oh, I see what you mean now. Okay, so basically DC needs to take a chapter from Marvel where it's like, don't rely on one person to do your movies.
Yeah.
Tell them what you want, but at the same time, have different people direct it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get a different vibe. And that's true. You should.
There's no fear in it. Ant-Man was directed by the same guy that directed one of the Mandalorian episodes. Oh, the snow one.
Yeah.
Where they were in the snow.
And previously, he directed sitcom shows. That's the thing. He did New Girl and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Basically small little cult films, and then here he is directing Ragnarok. James Gunn with the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, he would do low-budget horror movies. He actually directed a adult film, which I found out early on in his career.
No offense to James Gunn.
Yeah.
I do kind of see that in him, though.
Yeah. He would. And he not starred in it, but he played a role in it. Not in that kind of way, but he had a speaking role.
He was there.
He was there.
Before the stuff happened.
Yes. But basically, to wrap up this this little segment that we're talking about, we can't judge it completely. We'll see what happens in the future more. But as of right now, I think we're confident that it's going to be an interesting film.
I'm not afraid of it. There's no reason to be afraid of it.
Yeah, and I think me and Bryan are really interested to see how J.J. Abrams will do a Superman movie.
Yeah, not directed. Maybe
No.
not. No, don't.
He could direct it at the end of the day. They could tell him just to direct it. Be like, hey.
No.
No? You don't want him directing
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Here's why. Abrams has a good run when he handles the things on his own. Paramount had almost no say in the Star Trek movies, and J.J. Abrams dominated with those movies. Yeah. Then he goes and works for Lucasfilms and says, hey, you know what? What's with you yawning?
Sorry.
The monster's just not working.
No, it's not working.
All right. Then he went to Lucasfilms, and he did the new trilogy for Star Wars. Yeah. I don't care who says, but they weren't that bad. Just give it like 5 years. At the time of recording, I don't care. This new line of trilogy movies, just no. Like, no, because Abrams just didn't have the balls to just, make something unique out of this. Rian Johnson still did great with The Last Jedi. Anyways.
And we lost about half of our followers. We still get a lot of traction about that.
That's fine. Look, hey, it's my opinion. Come at me. What are you going to say?
Again, at the end of the day, it's our opinions. We don't agree, but it's our opinions.
It's fine. Don't agree, but I'm right.
Moving on.
So I have a feeling that if Abrams were to direct this new Superman reboot, Warner Brothers, because it's Warner Brothers, they're going to step in. They might be like, listen, Abrams, we get what you're trying to do, but no. So let's do this. And that's where I'm going to have an issue with.
Okay.
I would like to see Abrams produce this. I don't think he should direct it. Let's see what Matt Reeves' Batman movie is going to be like. Yeah. If it's good, then Warner Brothers is on the right track.
Okay.
But we need to see who the director is for this one. Abrams gets too easily pushed around.
Yeah. The two main things is who's directing it and then who's going to star in it.
Yeah. I mean, look at the actor they got for the Superman, or for Superman in the freaking movie, in the shows, in the TV show.
Oh, that's true. Tyler Hutchinson.
No offense to him, but it's not like it's no Robert Downey Jr. Like, it's not a big announcement, you know. So just find someone that would look like a Superman, and be a good actor, and then give us a good storyline for a Superman movie, and I will, 100% guarantee that it's going to be a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't feel like a Superman needs to be named and be like, this is the Superman, this is the reason it's going to be successful. No. Okay. This isn't a Batman.
No, it's true.
Look at how much hate Robert Pattinson got.
Oh, yeah.
Before the trailer was revealed. And then after the trailer was like, oh my God, Robert Pattinson.
I'm so down. I am now. But...
We're all in love with him at this point. It's
true.
like,
he's a really good actor, honestly.
Yeah. So
all right.
that's our take on the Superman reboot.
That's our take on the Superman reboot. So let's get it, because we're at 52 minutes now.
Let's talk about the other big piece of news. This is my territory.
This is Bryan's boy.
Here we go.
So this past week, guys, we've gotten the beginning of this week, we quote unquote had reveals that Tom Holland revealed that it
wasn't just Tom Holland.
Yeah, but it was like the studio essentially. Basically, I mean, they worked with the whole Tom Holland spoiling everything, and they went with it, which I love. I love that Sony and Marvel are like, okay, we know what type of person Tom is.
Yeah.
Let's use it.
Let's go with it.
Yeah. So they released titles, and I'm doing air quotes, titles of the new Spider-Man movie, and I just love it. Because
one was by Zendaya, one was Tom Holland, and the other one was the actor that plays Peter's friend. I cannot remember his name.
So Tom Holland, so I don't follow Zendaya and his friend. I follow Tom Holland. So Tom Holland, when I saw what he said about the reveal of the name of the movie, it was Spider-Man Phone Home. And then I guess Zendaya had Spider-Man Home Slice. And then his friend Ned, the actor that plays Ned, put Spider-Man Home Wrecker. Which, guys, come on. And so when I heard, the one I heard was Phone Home, I was like,
Nah.
No, that's not real. That's not real. And so then I saw a TikTok of a guy legitimately made a video of Phone Home. And he's all, guys, this is what my prediction is about Phone Home. I think Spider-Man's going to be in a different dimension and he's going to find his way home and stuff like that. I'm like, I was like, dude. And I saw it and I was like, come on, that's not real. That's not real. And it wasn't. And I was like, okay. The next day, Sony officially put out a video of Tom Holland, Zendaya, and the actor that plays Ned. I'm so sorry if I can't get your name, the actor that plays
Look
Ned.
it up right now.
I don't want to.
Here, I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Hold on,
What was the title?
So the title, the official title of the movie, we've had Spider-Man Homecoming, which was the first one. Spider-Man Far From Home, which is the second one that we just saw, the one that came out after Endgame, guys. But the final third installment of the Spider-Man MCU/Sony franchise is called Spider-Man No Way Home, which is not better, but I guess if we're gonna go with names, I guess that's the official name.
Yeah.
No Way Home. And
Jacob Batalon.
Jacob Batalon, okay. Yeah. And I don't know. How do you feel about the title of the film?
Okay, so I was like a little bit kind of weirded out by it. Yeah. One thing I noticed was that it was home on everything. Yeah, Homecoming, Far From Home, and then No Way Home. And so I'm like, okay, so automatically my mind went to Spider-Man 4, Welcome Home, with music by Coheed and Cambria. Because he literally have like, it's like the one thing that I'm like thinking of when you think of home. It's a good song. I like the song, but like, yeah, and it's in literally the album where Welcome Home is literally a 4.
That's true. Yeah. But you weren't ready, so open your.
Yeah, we're gonna get copy struck for that. But it's
That's it. I'm sorry. I just like that song.
It's a good song.
I remember they played that song for the animated movie 9.
Oh,
and everyone was like really hyped up about it, and they never played that song in the movie.
No,
everyone was kind of disappointed. I was like, I remember watching a YouTube video, guys, like a guy that obviously you look at him and he does listen to Coheed and Cambria.
There's a kind,
long hair, jean vest, black pants, black boots, you guys know what I mean. And he goes in, he's like a YouTuber is like going up to him, he goes, yeah, I'm pretty unsatisfied that Coheed and Cambria wasn't in the movie. I was like, of course that's the whole reason why you would go see 9.
I wonder if they do actually make a 4th Spider-Man movie, if like they'll call it or they'll like just meme it just for fun. That'd be fun.
Just like at the end of the credits of it.
Yeah. We were also treated to 3 different pictures of the set, but nothing was revealed there.
No, we just see the 3 main actors. They're in some sort of room. Some people are already saying that, like, oh yeah, they could be in Doctor Strange's inner sanctum and stuff like that, or they could be in a basement, or something like that. Someone even said they could be in Agatha's basement. I'm like, no, that's
no. You know what though? I will say this. Now that I think about it, because I'm like rethinking about all those pictures in my head, it does kind of give a little bit like a jungle vibe, the area they're in, which makes me think of what's his name? Why did his name escape me?
Kraven
the Hunter.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's a cool villain.
Oh, I love Kraven, dude.
I've always admired, so that's why I love Far From Home, because I've always admired the character of Mysterio, and I loved how they did it in
Jake Gyllenhaal played a freaking fantastic Mysterio.
So good.
Yeah.
And I loved that they casted him because he has that superhero good guy look.
Yeah.
But then he can also play very devious.
My fiance has a small little crush on Jake Gyllenhaal.
I think everyone has a small crush on
I told her, I'm like, he's a pretty good looking dude.
He's a good looking
and he doesn't age as well. Like he doesn't age as much like Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd still looks good.
Dude, Paul Rudd is like, I don't know if he's drinking blood of a unicorn or something, but that guy
doesn't age.
Is like aging like every 10 years, he'll age 1.
He'll get 1 wrinkle.
Yeah, he'll get like a crease on his forehead, and that's it.
Jake Gyllenhaal ages, but he ages by gaining muscle. Or like body mass, I
don't know what him or Paul Rudd, which deal they did with the devil or something
with Mephisto?
like that. Yeah, with Mephisto. But whatever they're doing, that's great. That's great on them because they look good still.
And I feel like because Jake Gyllenhaal from Far From Home, just, like you said, fantastic Mysterio.
He's played it so well.
Because Mysterio is all about deception.
Yes.
And he deceived
And
everyone.
And that's how his first appearance was. In the Spider-Man comic books, he posed as a superhero. He was posing as like he is a hero here to save the day, when really he was robbing banks and stuff like that, and within his illusions and stuff.
Yeah.
And I love that they did illusions in that one, where it was just like holographic technology.
Yeah.
And it made sense in the MCU.
It was. I want to watch Far From Home. It is so good.
It's such a good movie.
It is.
That's my.
It's
favorite.
not on Disney Plus. None of the movies.
Oh, because it's owned by Sony.
Yeah.
They haven't like.
Jerks.
I know. Well, because Disney needs to buy Sony, and that's how they'll do it.
All right, Disney, let's go. Come on. Get,
Disney.
you've bought 20th Century Fox. You've bought parts of Hulu. I need you guys to get over there and get Sony. Get them.
Well, right now during the coronavirus, they're still bleeding money. So
I don't care.
I don't think they.
I don't care. Do I care? Does it look like it? Does this face look like it cares?
Yes.
No. Go buy Sony right now.
Okay.
And I guess.
Okay.
Sure. No. Good. Get your ass over there. Just shut up. Get your ass over there to Sony's offices, and I want you to dump however much they ask for. $5 billion? Give them 10. I don't care. You're losing money? Suck it up.
Yeah, I want to talk to the head of Sony Pictures. Listen, we really would like it if you joined us. Oh.
No.
But we'll give you lots of money.
How much?
We'll give you
30 million? 30 billion, excuse me. 30 million. Yes, deal.
That's a little steep.
I don't care. Get the hell out of my office, Mickey. Oh.
You'll be sorry.
Bankrupt Sony, and they just acquire it for like the lowest amount of money possible.
Sabotage.
Oh my God. It just give us those movies on there, man. Those are like really good movies. Oh my God. Okay, we sidetracked on that.
Yeah, we did.
But it would be interesting because we finally get these movies, or the title of this movie, which is
No Way Home.
No Way Home. And the home aspect of it is what really gets me. It doesn't bother me. This isn't Brian's bothers.
Okay.
It gets me because why do we get home in 3 different movies? Why home? Maybe we're thinking too much.
Maybe we are, but that's the thing is, why is that a theme? Why is that a theme in the Spider-Man movies?
Is this Disney like kind of putting little what do they call the subliminal messages?
Yeah,
and going like
Spider-Man's
we want
coming
Spider-Man home.
Well, because it's when when they did Spider-Man Homecoming, we thought it was a clever way of like, it takes place during a homecoming, but at the same time, it's Spider-Man coming back to Marvel.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a homecoming to the character, but. And then they did that's the thing. Now they're doing like Far From Home, and it's just like, okay, we're thinking like, what? Okay. What? Why are you laughing?
Guys, we got Spider-Man back.
Yeah.
He's having his homecoming.
Yeah.
Second movie comes out. Guys, he's still far from home. He's at
from
Sony
home.
still.
So
Third movie.
There's no way he's coming back, guys. This is the final film. We gave up. Oh, that makes sense because remember... After like Endgame and Far From Home, they were like,
we can't get him
Tom
back
Holland is no longer coming back as Spider-Man or something, or like no, like the MCU is like, we're no longer doing Spider-Man movies. Far From Home.
There's just no way, guys. We can't get him back.
Give it up, guys. This is the final movie. Tom Holland, this is your hurrah. There's no way home. Like
Disney. Spider-Man 4, Welcome Home. We got him, guys. Sony sold him back to us.
Hey, guys.
Starring Coheed and Cambria.
Each movie is just like a little subliminal message of like how Disney acquires Spider-Man and stuff through Sony. Oh man, I think we just broke something right now. Yeah, we broke the internet. Right? Our listeners are like, what?
This makes sense, guys. Holy crap. Oh my God.
I don't think we can go any more into that because that's just great, honestly.
You're welcome.
Man.
Just A+ content from Keeping Up with the Nerds.
Yes, we can't go any higher.
So we can leave the home aspect back there.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no other pieces of news that have come out in terms of Spider-Man, though. Like, all we know are who's going to be in it.
Yeah.
I will say this, though, just to kind of wrap up this whole aspect, because, yes, this movie title is a big announcement. Okay, we finally get the title, meaning that within maybe the next 2 months, we do get a trailer, possibly.
Teaser, if anything?
A teaser?
Yeah.
Because usually with the title announcement, we do get some sort of reveal within the next month or two.
Filming.
Yeah.
They've been filming.
let me throw this out there real quick. Wait, I just lost what I was going to say. Holy crap. Hang on. I legitimately just had like a brain fart and I couldn't. Oh, wait, no. Coming back. Nope. Never mind. Lost it. Oh, no. I legitimately lost it. I lost it.
No, really?
Yeah.
We're going to have to wrap it up here then.
No. What was I going to say? What were we talking about? What were we talking about?
We were talking about Spider-Man, Far From Home. No Way Home.
No Way Home.
And then you said, oh, man. And then we were talking about.
Oh, that's it. I got it.
Okay.
Shut up. Say
it.
Okay. So Tom Holland
Yeah.
recently went on a late night show. I think it was Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Maybe it might have been. But supposedly he went on there and, straight up admitted, I haven't heard anything that, Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire were going to be in this movie at all.
Yeah, he wasn't told or anything.
He wasn't told. He hasn't seen him on set. So this is news to him if it does end up happening. How much do you think that that's a lie?
Oh, that's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
I haven't
Or
seen
he's
the
been
interview.
told a lie.
I haven't seen the interview.
Okay.
It could be this. It could be that the last parts, those parts probably aren't going to be filmed until later on.
Yeah.
Do you really believe that they were going to get like other Spider-Man in this movie? We've talked about this because we've both kind of been on this thing where it's like yes and no, but do we really want to know? Do we not care?
Ideally, yes. I want to see it. I mean, I'll admit, I do. I would love to see all three Spider-Man on screen talking to each other in their spider suits, interacting. But the thing is that like I have high expectations for that.
Yeah.
And I did that for other Marvel movies or other like projects like that where it was like possibly they were going to do it because there were certain characters that are involved that are important to a story, like not like that but like in the movie and stuff.
Yeah.
And one in particular, again, I always bring it up because it's a perfect example for me, is Venom. When Venom came out, there was talks about Tom Holland's on set. Tom Holland was during the filming of this scene and stuff like that. Tom Holland was shown and nothing.
No.
Spider-Man wasn't even a thought in that whole movie.
Nope, not even mentioned.
And that's what hurt the movie for me personally, was
Yeah.
that Spider-Man wasn't involved in that film at all. And people could agree that the movie would have been better if Spider-Man was involved in that movie.
But that movie,
in some shape or form.
But that movie just had talks and rumors. Like there was nothing that led on to it.
Mm-hmm.
But this new Spider-Man movie is going to have,
Certain
Electro
characters, yeah.
and Dr. Octopus from, those two different
Yeah.
Spider-Man movies.
And I think that's why. And then again, the Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures and Disney, they are very like, we will not admit to it at all. You will speculate all you want. We are not going to confirm nor deny it. That's the thing, because it's essential, because it will either spoil the movie or we don't want it. That's the thing, is like, if you really think about it, when people say, oh, is Tobey Maguire going to be part of it? Is Andrew Garfield going to be part of it? They're not saying no, technically.
I don't think there's been interviews with them, which is weird that the media hasn't gone up to them.
Yeah.
And been like, hey, we've heard about this. Can you confirm?
Again, they need to be out of the limelight during this whole thing, or they also have a contract that they can't talk to the media at all until closer to the film if there is a trailer release. I think
I don't know why I had like my world just spun right now, but like I just thought about that, like, okay, because like when Civil War the movie came out and Spider-Man went God,
we all know, guys, that Marvel loves to release a trailer, and then by the end of the trailer there's a big reveal of a plot in there.
Yeah.
We're not going to get the full plot of it, but there's going to be something that happens in the movie that's going to be essential, to the point where they can't hide that before the movie comes out, that they do. So, oh God, now I'm really thinking about it. And it seems really likely now. It seems so likely. And
did your head just spin around a little bit?
Right now, because it's like, because at the same time, it basically confirms what everyone's saying, and I hate that so much, where it's like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are probably in the movie. And again, we won't have that confirmed until the trailer comes out.
Yeah.
And again, that's what they did with Far From Home, with the whole Mysterio part of it. Was like, oh yeah, Mysterio, they didn't want to say Mysterio was a villain, that he was there to help Spider-Man, which was part of the story arc.
Uh-huh.
But they wanted to keep him being a villain as a secret.
Yeah. You can put the 2 and 2 together, but they were very quiet about a lot of different things in that sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd have to wait, but we're slowly getting that information.
We're slowly getting there. Again, guys, we won't get a confirmation until the trailer drops, so we all have to wait until then. We can all speculate all we want.
If there's no show when the trailer drops, it's because we probably both passed out. I'll tell you right now. Yeah. If because I can visually recall. I love that. The little bit where they did the classic Spider-Man song. I love these little redos of the classic Spider-Man. Spider-Man. I love that. But I remember when Civil War came out with its trailer.
Oh man!
And we were all waiting for Spider-Man, and then he just hops on there.
Ruse. Hey everyone.
The whip.
Yeah.
And I was, oh my God. I'll tell you right now, if I watch it and then there's something like that happens, I will probably pass out where I'm at, just flop on the floor.
I know. First it's Andrew Garfield, whoa, and then Tobey Maguire, whoa. And you just see them both on screen, and Tom Holland's Peter Parker's whoa. He just sees them both, and you're just
just on the floor. Yeah, this is Rene from Keeping Up with the Nerds. Hey, my co-host Bryan actually couldn't make it today because he's currently in the hospital trying to get oxygen in his system.
He's currently in the
passed
hospital
out,
fighting death right now.
He just couldn't breathe because of this reveal. It's just too much.
It's too much for his heart.
Oh my God, I cannot. Oh, no. We don't know yet.
We don't know yet,
so we're not going to say anything.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we're going to say.
End the show, Bryan.
Yes. So we're going to wrap this show up. Yes. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. We've been getting a lot of attention on our YouTube, a lot more attention on our podcasts, and we really appreciate all our listeners. We love you guys. If you guys like what you guys heard here, please share us to anyone that might be interested. We do have social media links on on Twitter and Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel where we're uploading weekly videos regarding WandaVision, and we're going to start working on some other stuff as well. We've been in talks about trying to produce a web series on there, and we really want to get it going, so just keep an eye on there. Rene does a fantastic job on the socials, advertising when new stuff comes out, so just follow us there if you guys are interested in, seeing what we're going to be up to. In regards to our podcasts, we do come out with these every Wednesdays at 11:30, wherever you do get your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Yes. 39 subscribers. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're at 39. We want to get to 50. Yes. Hopefully by the end of March. That's what we want. And thank you guys for the massive support. We love you guys and we appreciate you guys. With that said, are we ready to wrap up the show?
Yes, we are.
Perfect.
Thank you, citizens, for listening to this issue of Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour. I'm your host, Bryan.
Rene.
Coming to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California. Recording at Undercity Comics. We thank you, citizens, once again, and hope to see you all next time.